Hi, this is Henk, and welcome to another edition of the Skull Sessions. And today, my guest is Nicholas Robinson. Is correct?
Yep,
All right, what's up, man?
not much. How you doing?
Okay, I guess so far I'm alive. So let's talk about what you got going on.
Um, right now I've got a couple of manuscripts waiting to come back to me for edits, and just a ton of other things in progress. I just put out a short story collection in January, so
Okay, what's the short story collection of?
we paint our faces with the ashes of the dead. It's 13 short stories. Um, some of them are splatterpunk, some are cosmic horror, some are just strange.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't sound like rom-com to me. So
No, I should try that next.
maybe rom-com with a little bit of splatter mix in.
Yeah, it works.
It can work, yeah. So, what do you normally go for? It's like, do you go with serial killers? Do you have like a theme? Do you have a style? Is it like the paranormal? Is it aliens? What is it?
I tend to skip away from paranormal more often than not. I don't really care about that too much. I enjoy reading it and everything. It's just not something I write most of. Mostly people, serial killers, slashers. Um, when I do get to cosmic horror, then I can go into the I don't know the paranormal elements, I suppose. But that's about as close as I ever really get to like supernatural paranormal stuff.
So, like the most paranormal would be kind of the like Event Horizon or aliens type thing, where it's like from out of this world, but it's not necessarily like a ghost.
Yeah, it's maybe just something we don't understand.
Right. Okay, and what do you have out now?
Let's see. Aside from the short story collection, I didn't have anything else. I didn't have anything come out last year. Last year was kind of a slow year for me. And then 2024, I had a re-release, re-edited version of my second novel, Innocence Ends, and a novella, Have a Blast, which was just a big revenge story.
Okay.
And then, uh, God, couple more novels, another short story collection, and a few novellas. So I think I have 8 books out now. Sounds right. I know I had 7 with me when I was at AuthorCon, and I knew I didn't have one copy of one of my books. So
We saw at the con, the one in Virginia or the one in Texas?
Virginia.
Okay. So, are all of your books available through the same publisher? Is it available on your website? Where can people find it?
I go through a couple of different things. Madness Heart Press has released 2 of my books. Uncomfortably Dark Horror has released a couple others so far, and they have a couple more out. I've got another manuscript to send off to Madness Heart Press, and another one in progress there. And then I've got a couple things that were self-published as well. Um, but yeah, they're all available pretty much anywhere, like Amazon, bookstores, things like that. My website, meltdownmessiah.com. There are pictures of the book covers with links to where they can be purchased and everything as well.
Okay, is it links to like print on demand or do you have copies in stock?
Oh, I have copies available that I can sell. I just don't have a proper storefront built up for it yet. But I always have copies available to sell.
So, if somebody wants like a signed copy, would you have a link to like where they can buy it or they can buy it from you directly?
Yeah, they can buy it from me directly, or catch me at a convention, of course.
What's the next event you're at?
I'm gonna be at Massacre on the Mountain, here in just outside of Portland at Mount Hood at the Timberline Lodge. But I don't think I'm gonna be selling anything there. I'm mostly just doing photography. But I'll be at KillerCon in November and I'm looking forward to it not being as hot as it normally is.
I'll see you at KillerCon. Yeah, it's the first time they're doing it like in the fall because before they
I
did it
know.
in August, so it was like blazing hot.
I know it's too uncomfortable to leave the hotel most of the time.
I remember last year I was there with Aaron Liebold, and like there were crackheads coming up to us and stuff. So it's like the hot weather brings people out, especially in
Yeah,
Texas. So, do you stick with like first person, third person? How do you approach it?
that really varies. It depends on the story I'm trying to tell. I've written a lot of things in first person, quite a few things in third. I even wrote a short story in second person, which was strange and a lot harder to do than I thought it would be.
Everyone says that. They're like second person is like the thing you don't want to
Yeah, it's weird.
do. So, what length do you go for? Is it more short story, novella, novel? What?
I think I tend to peter out somewhere between like novella and short novels. Um, anywhere between like 30,000 to 70,000 words is usually about where I end up. Um, I feel more comfortable with that, where it doesn't feel like it's dragging on too long, but it also doesn't feel like it's too condensed.
Okay.
Uh, it tends to fall around that area. I mean, sure, I'm sure at some point I'll end up writing something that's way the hell longer than that. I just haven't done it yet. So,
Okay. So, is your comfort zone more like single impact stories as opposed to like a long novel where it spells the whole thing out?
yeah, I like to get right to it. I think more than anything. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can kind of draw things out quite a bit, but I like to make sure that the pacing feels good and that everything just kind of flows pretty quickly.
Do you stick to a continuity where everything's like vaguely connected, kind of like Lovecraft oriented, or is everything a totally separate piece?
Some of my stuff is connected. There are little hints and references here and there. Um, and I am working on something that'll kind of tie a few of my things together, but otherwise it's all just kind of off in its own little world. Or even if they are in some kind of shared connected reality, there's no overlap.
Do you have like one theme you kind of like to stick to that's kind of your comfort zone, or do you like tend to branch out and explore all different venues?
I like revenge a lot. I like to have a degree of revenge involved in stories. It for whatever reason it really makes me happy.
Wait, kind of like the have you seen the John Wick movies?
Oh yeah.
So something like that would be like your ideal, where it's like,
Oh yeah.
something that drags you down through the dirt and then you get your revenge, and it's kind of satisfying.
Yeah, I like that. It feels good I don't know. But I also recognize that revenge doesn't always pay off, and it usually works out just as poorly for the person seeking revenge.
Right.
And I tend not to
If
pull
you
back
watch
from
any
that.
mobster movie, that happens all the time.
Oh yeah, you're going down too.
So, if people want to check out your work, do you have something you compare it to? Not to say you ripped it off, but like if you like this, you'd like my stuff.
Oh, God, I have a lot of things that influenced me over time, but like if you enjoy like camp slashers and shit like Friday the 13th, Sleepaway Camp, The Burning, Just Before Dawn, that type of stuff. My book Beneath the Unspoiled Wilderness has a lot of influence drawn from that, with a degree of cosmic horror and revenge all thrown into the mix. Um, but yeah, I enjoy the hell out of horror flicks and reading horror books. So I've got so many things that have influenced me over time that it's really kind of hard to pinpoint anything specific.
Okay. So there's is there like if it's like your day off, would you rather watch a movie? Would you rather, read a book? Would you rather read a graphic novel? Like what your preferred format?
Oh God, that's hard. I'd probably watch a movie until I just didn't feel motivated to do that anymore, and then I'd probably start reading. um, that's usually what I do anyway. I when I drive to and from work or when I'm at the gym, I'm listening to audiobooks the whole time. And then when I'm at home, I tend to if I feel like sitting down long enough to watch something, I'll watch something. Otherwise, I'll just lay down and read. So it's kind of this or that depending on the day and how what kind of mood I'm in, I suppose.
I feel like attention spans have gotten much shorter, both for me and for the audience. Like I
Yeah.
remember watching like Dave, like I remember watching like Romero films back in the day, and like I'm like, you know, back then I was like this scared. Now I'm like, it takes so long to get to the point.
I think part of that's just because it's not new anymore too, so you remember you know where it's going, and so you're just anxious for it to get there.
Well, also stuff like the Crazies. I actually like the remake a lot better because the remake just jumps right into the action. There's a good story. I prefer a good story, but it's like the original Crazies, like it's so long, and so
Oh,
dragged
it is.
out.
And there isn't a whole lot happening for most of it. But there is that woman walking around with the broom in the middle of the field. So,
Well, Romero is a master, obviously, so it's like you can't really knock him. I'm just saying, like it seems like the stuff, everything, novels, books, comics, they're all a lot slower back in the day.
well, and it seems like a lot of yeah, I've noticed that in a lot of books, like chapters are getting shorter, and I think that's just because it gives people an easier, like a beat to process things or a place to stop and put it down and walk away and do whatever else they need to do. So yeah, I think attention spans have definitely changed. People want things in more bite-sized quantities.
Yeah, I noticed. Like, I remember when I first started publishing, all the publishers were like, "You don't want a collection of short stories. That sells to the worst." But like, people love anthologies though, because like they get a little bite of every author. I
See,
don't
and I've
know.
had really good success with my short story collections, comparably speaking, and I don't know, I agree. I fucking love anthologies, though. I love finding like, especially themed anthologies, where each author is contributing something that's kind of along a similar thought process, or at least a kind of a similar focal point.
But so what I was gonna say is, I noticed with the anthologies when they're themed, but it's kind of like everyone picks a slightly different variation, so it sounds very different, but they're all kind of like doing it roughly in the same area. That's my favorite. Like, for instance, if you watch like an old episode of The Twilight Zone, it's like every Twilight Zone they kind of have like a similar theme, but it's like they're not the same at all.
Yeah, it's, that's the same reason I like Black Mirror so much. Like, there's always kind of a similar thematic quality to it, but uh, but yeah, they're all different. They're all vastly different, but uh, but they but they all still kind of feel like they belong together. That was my favorite part about that End of the World as we know it, that collection of all the short stories that were taking place in the Stand universe.
Okay.
Like it was amazing seeing all these different authors contributing stories that took place at different points in that timeline, but in that same world.
Have you read The Stand?
Oh yeah, yeah, I
It
read that in sixth grade.
So I remember there were like two like kind of big novels around the same time. There was The Stand and Swan Song, and I
Oh yeah.
read Swan Song, and everyone's like, "Well, if you read one, don't read the other." So I actually haven't read The Stand. So I'm wondering, was The Stand really good?
Oh, it was. It was really good. Um, Personally, I think I like Swan Song better, at least a little bit, um, just because I there was something more fun about the transformations. I suppose I liked that element of it, like that there were really startling and jarring transformations happening to some of the people.
Right. Yeah, I the thing that always kind of gets me is when it like the end is like the Book of Eli, where like the end is like, oh God, the Bible. I'm like, well, you kind of have to like buy into like I don't know if you're Christian or not, but I'm saying that's a mythology. So you kind of have to buy into the mythology, or else it doesn't really work for you.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I can like suspend disbelief and everything and enjoy it, but it doesn't have the same impact that it would
Gut
have for
punch,
somebody who
yeah, yeah.
believes.
Like I remember everyone was saying like their favorite horror movie was The Exorcist. I was like, Well, I like it, but it's like you kind of have to like I was watching, I'm like, this isn't real. This doesn't really happen. You know, I mean, a lot of stuff done like murders or inside, but I'm like that I could see happening. This I don't see happening.
No, that's part of the reason I enjoy like the like slashers and serial killers and things like that so much, both in movies and books and in my own work, is that that feels more real to me. It feels more plausible.
Right, definitely. Like as opposed to like alien visitation or like all sorts of weird stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's just there's something like Hostel will definitely creep me the hell out a lot more than most like than The Exorcist ever would.
Right. I thought Hostel, like I liked the idea, the premise. I just felt like the actual execution was a little bit lackluster.
Yeah, it was. I did go see it on my wedding night though. That was part of our honeymoon back in 2006, January of 2006. I my
Yeah,
honeymoon consisted of going
honey,
to see Hostel.
I want you to watch this girl getting her eyes blowtorched. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very, very rom-com. Very
yeah,
romantic.
yeah. I'm a good date.
All right, man. So again, I don't want to keep you here all day, but how can people get a hold of you and throw money your way?
It's easy enough to find me on any social media platform. I use Meltdown Messiah for all of my social media platforms, and of course, www.meltdownmessiah.com is my website as well. So,
Okay. And last thing I was going to ask is like, if people really like your stuff, a lot of people are like they're hesitant to check out new stuff they don't know anything about. What would you say if you like this, you'd like my stuff?
oh, let's see here. God, I feel like it'd be weird to compare myself to anything, but um,
Well, you don't have to say I'm this. Just like if you like
yeah,
that vibe, you like my stuff.
I think if you enjoy, let's see here. If you enjoy a horror that was like really heavily influenced by the 70s, 80s, and 90s, then you're probably going to like my shit. Because I was heavily influenced by those things. Um, like you mentioned, George Romero. I've watched
Like
every
Dawn of
single
the
Romero film way more times than I can count.
like
Yeah, Dawn of the Dead,
Dawn of
like
the
the
Dead,
original Dawn of
yeah,
the Dead is still
or like a
Dawn
Nightmare on
of the
Elm
Dead, Day of the
Street.
Dead. Those are two of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
No, less than Nightmare on Elm Street. I've always thought he was kind of hokey.
You know what? I thought
Um,
the first one was really
but
good.
but yeah, I oh it was, and then it just kind of gradually got worse after that.
Well, I can't pretend like stuff just died. Like the first Hellraiser was awesome. When he finally
Oh
goes
yeah,
to space, I was like, dude, come on.
yeah. But there have been some really good Hellraiser installments after that too. Like Inferno was really good. I even really liked Judgment. That one was fantastic.
What was the latest one?
Oh God, the remake on like it was on Hulu or something, I think it was. That one was pretty damn good too.
Yeah, I
Even though it
heard it's
wasn't
pretty
really a
good.
remake. Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't so much a remake, but it was just kind of a reimagining of it, and I thought they did a fantastic job with that.
Yeah,
Uh
I
like
prefer that. I don't want a
yeah, Clive
remake. I prefer a reimagining.
yeah, Clive Barker was a huge influence on me, both his books and the movies and stuff that like Nightbreed and Hellraiser and everything.
Oh,
And
he wrote some great ones like Yattering and Yak, Tale of Two Cities. Awesome.
oh yeah. And like some of the movies made off of his stuff that people don't even know about, like Dread, that was a phenomenal movie and a really good story.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's a little bit, well, it's hard to say he's underrated because like everyone knows who he is. So, but
Yeah, but he's not listed there with like King and Kuntz and whatnot, and he really should be.
I don't know. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that like Clyde Barker above like say Coates.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying like he should be as popular, I think.
Right. Well, everyone good should be popular. But all right, man. So last thing I'll ask is so if people want to get a hold of you, is it your website's the best venue? Like what's the best approach?
My contact information's on the website, but I'm easy enough to find on social media. I'm most active probably on Facebook, just because that's where I'm just default. But I'm on everything like Instagram, Threads, TikTok. So
Okay. All right, cool. Everybody, check out this guy's work. Throw money at him. You know, whatever he needs. So, thank you very much for doing this. And I appreciate. I know it's like a little bit late. You probably came from work and you're checking your car, but thank you.
yeah, no problem, Dan. And I'll see you at KillerCon.
Please like and subscribe before he kills again.